Hello, Barbara here once again with an offering of 3 gentle asana postures or yoga postures. I'm choosing to do them seated today for all of us who may have some challenges with getting down on the floor or some pain or discomfort or some mobility issues. And these are very gentle for opening the back, opening the heart, and releasing emotion. So the first one is a seated version of the cat-cow pose. Planting the feet on the floor, planting our hands on our legs. Let's just take a moment to take a deep breath. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears and lift up our hearts. Let's breathe in and exhale. Maybe as we breathe in, we can press the hands more firmly on the legs. And as we exhale, feel the spine lengthening. Breathing in, sinking down. Exhaling. Noticing the more pressure, resistance we use with the hands on the legs and the feet on the earth, the more activation we feel in the body. So let's just do a couple more deep breaths, feeling that activation. Noticing the beautiful straight spine, our hearts are lifted. Now the next inhalation, as we breathe in, we'll lift our hearts, lift our gaze, gently rounding our back. And exhaling, rounding the spine forward, taking our forehead down towards our knees. As far as you want to go, take it to a comfortable place. Inhaling back up, lifting our hearts, lifting our gaze. Exhaling, rounding. Noticing the beautiful stretch and motion that's happening in the spine here. As we lift our hearts, spine curves one way. As we exhale and round our spine, inviting our forehead downwards, the spine is curving the other way. So a beautiful activity for those discs, for the vertebrae, the jelly discs in between the vertebrae, waking them up, sending some blood flow, some energy, some love to all those beautiful discs in between the vertebrae. Taking it gently. If you feel any pain, please back away from it, do less, or stop altogether. Let's do 2 more of these breaths. Again, we're inhaling as we lift our hearts, lift our gaze. We're exhaling, rounding the spine, inviting the forehead down. Let's roll all the way down this time. Let our hands slide down the legs. If you're seated in a chair, whatever version works for you, however you're seated, letting the head totally let go. Breathing into the back. Feeling that beautiful expansion in the back. Next breath, we'll let the breath draw us upward through the spine. Now placing our right hand on our left knee, let's place the other hand on the hip and gently turn towards that elbow, keeping our hearts lifted, inviting our gaze backwards, noticing the shoulder dropping away from the ears, and taking a couple breaths into this beautiful twist. Lovely. Let's breathe our hands up, fingertips touching, and we'll exhale, taking the other hand on the opposite leg, the hand on the hip, and turning towards that back elbow, letting our gaze drop back. Again, lifting our hearts, lengthening our spine, sinking our tailbones into the chair or the earth or the bed, wherever we're seated. Let's do 1 more each side. We'll breathe those hands back up to center. And exhale to that first side. Maybe we'll get a little deeper into the twist. Maybe not. Find your own version of this. Enjoying the twist. Because as we work into these twists, we're doing a beautiful thing for our internal organs. We're giving them a lovely massage. Compressing them slightly in a twist, and then releasing them when we release the twist. Lovely. Coming back to center. Lowering the hands. Let's cross the left leg over the right. We'll do the same thing this time. We'll breathe our hands up. Why not? Exhale, drop the hand on the knee and come back again, inviting the gaze backwards. Maybe you'll notice you'll get a little deeper into the twist. Perhaps not. Again, always finding your version, observing how your body feels, taking as much or as little as feels perfectly comfortable in this moment. Maybe it feels different than yesterday. Let's breathe in and to the other side. We'll do one more each side, breathing up to center. Exhaling to that first side. Always lengthening the spine, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Lifting up our beautiful hearts. Inhaling center. And exhaling to that second side. Beautiful. Well done. Let's breathe that back up. Lower the hands, and we're just going to now invite that leg that was crossed to just kind of come to a different position. We're planting our ankle on our knee. Again, this might look like this. You might be lower, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you need to move the foot forward or back. But simply sitting like this with our raised hearts, our lengthened spine. This is a seated pigeon pose. And as we breathe into this pose, breathing into the beautiful opening of the hip, noticing the longer we hold this pose, maybe you'll feel some more releasing of those deep hip muscles, the hip flexor. If we want a little more, we can raise the heel slightly up on the bottom foot. Another option is to gently invite the heart towards that upper foot. Whatever feels really good. Maybe you want to wrap your hands around that front toe and give it a hug. Maybe you want to kiss your toe if you can get that far. I guess I'm not getting that far today. Breathing into that opening. Feeling the breath in the back and the belly. Relaxing our face muscles. Loving this hip opening. You know, we store a lot of emotion in our hips. So giving the hips an opportunity to release can be quite emotional, quite beautiful. Let's take 2 more breaths in this seated pigeon pose. Nice. Let's invite that foot to the floor. Shake it out, whatever you need to do to make it feel really good. Maybe you want to windshield wiper our knees a wee bit. And let's do the other side. Planting the left foot on the earth, crossing that right leg over it, regular cross legs. Let's breathe our hands up to center. And exhale, turning towards the hip of that foot, knee that's crossed over. I'll say the right side, because I am mirroring you. Breathing into the twist. Maybe you'll get a little farther, maybe not. Just observing how it feels. Does one side feel different than the other? Again, if there's any discomfort or pain, please just back away from that. Take a little bit less. Let's breathe those hands up to center. Exhale, other side. Hearts are lifted. Spines are long. And breathing in back up to center. 1 more each side. Exhaling. Let's check that our jaws are relaxed, our tongue, our lips. Tension-free zone. Breathing back up to center. Exhaling last time into that twist. Again, our internal organs and our spine adore the twist. It's a beautiful gift to our bodies to engage in these twists. All right, let's invite that heel, ankle to rest on top of that bended knee, opening up that hip, getting comfortable, Feeling both sits bones on the floor, on the mat, on the chair, on the bed. Hopefully a firm surface. We can feel a little more in control when we're on a firm surface. Feeling the connection of that lower foot on the earth. Enjoying the lifting of our hearts. The lengthening of our spine, our shoulders dropping away from the ears. Sinking into that opening, holding these poses does enable those muscles just to eventually let go a little bit more. If we want to go a little deeper, again, the option is there to slightly lift that bottom heel and or a bit of a bow, inviting the heart towards that ankle or the foot. Maybe you want to wrap the foot. Just finding your version. Maybe straightening the spine, maybe rocking a bit back and forth. Just play with this, explore it, find what feels good for you today, in this moment, on this side. Let's take 3 more beautiful breaths in this seated pigeon pose. On the second side. Beautiful. Let's drop that foot down. We're going to add one more beautiful pose. This is called Robin's breath. Since we're here already, we're seated. Again, we can be seated on the floor, on a chair. We can be standing. Doesn't really matter as long as we're comfortable and we feel grounded. So we're going to breathe our wings open. And exhale, bring one hand on top of the other and give ourselves a beautiful hug. Lengthening the spine, lifting the heart. Feeling the breath. Let's breathe it open again. Exhale, bring the other hand on top, big wrapping on, give yourself a hug. If you want to rock back and forth, whatever feels good. Maybe you want to move in little circles. Maybe you want to drop the chin. Let's breathe open again. We'll do several of these, swapping up the sides. One hand, arm on top, and then the other. This is a beautiful heart-opening breath and a beautiful opportunity to give ourselves self-love, self-compassion. Knowing that everything is going to be okay. We all have adversity in our lives, obstacles, some of us more than others, some days more than others, some phases of our lives more than others, of course. And if we can find beautiful little moments of sanctuary to practice self-love, to remember to open the body, open the breath, open the heart, open the heart to ourselves. Because if in these times of adversity and challenging obstacles, if there are others who are involved in the challenges, if we can fill our own cups up first and love ourselves, don't we just have so much more to give to others? We take care of others by taking care of ourselves first. It's not being selfish. It's actually quite the opposite. Because the end result is that in loving ourselves, we have so much more love to pour into others. Let's take one more beautiful Robin's breath on each side. Whatever you need to do, if you want to drop down, move in some circles, whatever feels really beautiful in your body today. I will leave you here. Thank you for joining me for these asanas. Namaste.